The Not-So-Haunted House by M.D. Johnson. The not-so-haunted house was abandoned by even a mouse. "This is definitely not the house for me." No creature, big or small, furry or unflawed, dared to live there. "What an unsightly place!" "Who would want to live in such a place?" "No kidding, it's horrific." Ghosts avoided it like the plague. "Run, kids, run!" Monster tiptoed past, as they too were afraid. "Shh! Don't make a sound." And witches flew over, never on foot. And black cats would hitch a ride with many a witch, just to avoid the not-so-haunted house as it stood. "Can I get a ride, miss?" "Sure thing, Mr. Kitty." It was in a creepy place, with sunshine and butterflies by day, and moonlight and stars by night. Such an awful sight to the community that lived nearby. "The house down the street is so creepy." "Did you see the eyesore of a house next door?" No cobwebs or jack-o'-lanterns even in the summer. No bats lingered, and the grim reaper never did visit, for it was such a horrific sight. "Let's go! That place over there is scary." "That place is way too grim for even me." Frankenstein and his mummy told their kids to avoid the area at all costs. "Kids, never come to this place, ever." And even though the whole neighborhood complained, there was just no moving out for the very scary, creepy tenants who resided in the not-so-haunted house. They were hideous and grotesque with their fresh, non-decaying flesh. And their clothes were deplorable, not tattered, torn, or weary. Their hair was never unkempt and matted. Oh, how gross! They turned off all their neighbors and were talked about the most. "Those new neighbors are something else, Doris, honey." "So I've heard, Stanley dear." "Have you seen the new neighbors yet?" "Oh yes, they are simply unsightly, especially the way they keep up their home." How could a not-so-haunted house remain in such a neighborhood as ours? The community questioned. "Perhaps," stated Broomhilda, the wickedest witch of the neighborhood, "they just don't know where they are. Therefore, I will attempt to reach out to them and let them know exactly where they are living. And to help them better fit in, we should plan a party so they can become immersed in our culture and adapt to our way of life. Because who wants to be the not-so-haunted house amongst the most haunted of houses down here in the South?" The community agreed, and Broomhilda did reach out. She was disgusted and flustered at all the sights in their not-so-haunted house, so much, in fact, that she nearly passed out. But luckily she did a spell or two, so she could bear all the unhauntingly unbearable sights. Hello, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Broomhilda. I'd like to invite you to a party this very Halloween. We notice you've been here a while, but we rarely see you out and about in the neighborhood. Well, thank you, Broomhilda. No one has ever visited us before. We weren't so sure if we really were welcome, with everyone avoiding us like the plague. Oh, no, dear, we're just a shy and reserved community, but we'd love for you to come out and mingle and become acclimated to your new neighborhood. I take it you're not from here, as your household looks so foreign compared to all the rest of the neighborhood. Well, actually, we're from Normalville Heights. We just recently moved to Spookburbia. We'd be delighted to come to your Halloween party. You are cordially invited to the neighborhood Halloween party to take place on Friday, October 31st, 2031 at the Suburbia Park on 1031 Frightmare Boulevard at 7:30 p.m. to midnight. So Broomhilda shook their hands and gave them the time and location, and they did come out and spook Burbia through a shindig that would get them intermingling with their new neighbors, who were astonished at all the sights. Their mouths dropped in awe at their neighbors, who did seem awfully frightful, but ever so delightful, as they danced to creepy music and offered them worm-filled slimy drinks. They intermingled and talked, joked, and showed they were of pretty good stock, so much, in fact, that the new neighbors couldn't help but to actually like them. The neighborhood got to know them a little better as well, and decided they would induct them. So without further ado, the new neighbors welcomed the change too, and were soon the new talk of the town. They remodeled their home and fit in splendidly in their new Spookburbia town. Home, sweet haunted home. If you enjoyed this book, please be sure to subscribe. Also, check out other book hits by author M.D. Johnson.